Have you ever said something in anger and the moment it left your lips, you wished you could pull it back? Maybe you raised your voice at your kids, snapped at your partner, or sent that text and immediately regretted it. That heavy feeling that hits right after, that's not just guilt. It's the heartbreak of realizing your pain just spilt onto someone else. And then comes the spiral, replaying it over and over, wondering, what's wrong with me? Why can't I control myself? If you've been there, this is for you. Because what you're feeling isn't a character flaw, it's your heart trying to heal. Hello, beautiful, and welcome back to Imperfectly Unfolding. Today, I'm sharing about the guilt we feel after we lose control. And in this video, I'm going to go into why we feel guilty, the difference between guilt and shame, and 4 practical, actionable strategies to help you not to lose control. So, what's the difference between guilt and shame? Guilt whispers, I made a mistake, which is healthy because it shows your values are intact. Shame screams, I am the mistake, which is where we get stuck. Why does guilt appear? Your guilt after losing control is a good sign. It means your actions didn't match who you really are. It's your inner compass recalibrating. Your reaction wasn't random, it was information. Every explosion has a backstory. You're not broken, you're human with unprocessed emotions. Whether it's snapping at your children when you're overwhelmed, sending that harsh text when you're hurt, or raising your voice when you feel unheard, we all have moments where our pain comes out sideways. Here's what I've learned about what's really happening in those moments. The silence feels deafening once you've had the outbreak. You can see the hurt on their faces. The mind then starts immediately to replay. How could you say that? You're supposed to be healing. You're better than that. But if you sit with it, you'll realize this wasn't just about that moment. This was about whatever was inside of you that hasn't been released or allowed to be released or healed. You probably weren't just angry at them, but there was something deeper going on inside of you. I was angry every time I felt unheard or dismissed or overwhelmed for years. Our bodies are like pressure cookers. Every unprocessed emotion, every swallowed word, every time you say, I'm fine, when you weren't, it all gets stored. So, what physical sensations do you feel during this moment? Maybe you notice tension in your jaw, a tightness in your chest, or that feeling like you want to crawl out of your skin. Your body was trying to protect you by holding all that pain. But eventually, protection becomes prison, and the pressure has to go somewhere. Understanding this changes everything because now we know you're not explosive, you're full. And full things can be emptied. How do we release the guilt we feel? It's through self-compassion, the practice of self-forgiveness. I want you to pause the video if you need to do this exercise. Put both your hands on your heart. Feel the warmth, feel your heart beat, and then repeat. I forgive myself for expressing my pain in ways I didn't mean to. I was carrying more than anyone could see, including you. I was doing the best I could with the emotional tools I had in that moment. My reaction is not who I am. It is how my pain showed up when it felt trapped. You could use any other phrases that feel more aligned to you. You could also write yourself a letter from the perspective of one of your most loving friends. What would they say to you right now in this moment? So here are some practical, actionable strategies that are helpful. Number one, a daily emotional check-in. Each morning, ask yourself, what am I carrying into today? Each evening, what do I need to release before bed? Number two, pressure release techniques. I had done a video on this. Scream into a pillow, literally let the sound move through you. The third is do what animals do. Shake your body. Animals do it to naturally release stress. Cry it out. Tears are how your nervous system releases. Move your body, dance, walk, stretch. Motion creates emotion. 3. The pause effect. When you feel the heat rising, name it. I'm feeling activated right now. Take 3 deep breaths. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 6. Ask yourself, what do I really need right now? Ask it often. Number 4, boundaries with yourself. It's okay to say you need a few minutes before you continue a conversation. You can say, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now and don't want to say something I'll regret. Healing doesn't make you perfect, it makes you honest. Losing control doesn't mean you're broken. It means you've reached your edge, and edges are where growth happens. The fact that you feel guilt means your heart is working. The fact that you're here watching this means you're choosing love over shame. That's everything that I wanted to share. But I do have something to ask you. Will you meet yourself there with shame or with love? Will you use this as evidence that you're bad or as information about where healing wants to happen next? Drop a heart in the comments if this resonated. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them. Sometimes we need permission to be human, and you might be the one to give them that gift today. So from my heart to yours, have a beautiful day.